Have you ever noticed something strange? Wherever Christianity is the strongest, whether in Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America, or the American South, poverty is often right there by its side. Why is that? Let's break down the historical, financial, and psychological reasons why Christianity and poverty walk hand in hand. Christianity spread through the world by colonization. When the European powers invaded Africa, the Caribbean, and the Americas, they bought the Bible in one hand and weapons in the other. Selah. Missionaries often told indigenous and enslaved peoples that they need to obey and be humble, and their reward will be in heaven. Meanwhile, colonizers took the land, the gold, the labor, and the resources. This is still happening today in Africa. Christianity grew strongest in places where wealth was being extracted and poverty being enforced. Fast forward today, in many poor communities, the church is the center of life. But instead of lifting people out of poverty, the church often demands tithes, a 10% of income. Let's think about that for a second. If someone is already struggling on $1,000 a month, giving $100 of that money to the church means less money for food, less money for rent, and less money for medicine. Yet people are told that if they don't give, they're robbing God. And that type of guilt and pressure keeps the cycle going. The money flows up the institution and the family budget gets weaker and weaker. Let's talk about the United States of America. It's Bible Belt. Do they still say United States? Do this just say US? I don't know. Let's talk about the states, the Bible Belt. These states are some of the most religious states in America with churches on every corner, but they're also the poorest, the least educated, and the most dependent on federal aid. The church often becomes a replacement for strong schools, social safety nets, and community wealth building. Instead of investing in long term solutions like credit unions, land ownership, or business development, people are told to just trust God and keep giving money. Another reason Christianity thrives in poor places is psychological. People are taught that poverty is being holy and that being poor is being humble, and that suffering means you're closer to God. This creates what some scholars called a poverty gospel, not the flashy prosperity gospel we see on TV, but the quiet acceptance as lack is normal type gospel. So, this is how the poverty gospel plays out. This is how you and I see it in action. So, the poverty gospel plays out by telling people not to question injustice, don't fight systemic poverty, just pray, obey, and wait for heaven. Now, how many times we've heard people, believers, and Christians say, we're just going to wait on God to do it? It never happens unless people have boots on the ground doing it. And the poverty gospel mindset keeps people trapped. So here's the cycle. Christianity spread in poor colonized areas. People tithe with money they can't afford. Poverty deepens and dependence on the church grows. And around it goes. This does not mean that every Christian community is poor. Some Christian communities, like the Mennonites or certain Catholic parishes, do build schools, hospitals, and businesses. But historically, in Black, Indigenous, and colonized communities, Christianity has too often taken more than it gave. So the next time someone says Christianity is saving lives, ask yourself, why does Christianity seems to thrive most where poverty never ends?